Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So I had a couple days to kind of sit on this and marinate it, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and redo a lot of this review on new Team Carports. Just being 100% honest, I was very frustrated with one individual in that company, and it was letting my opinion of them be kind of skewed. Had some issues with him. The owner stepped in, and once he did that, everything was pretty much smooth sailing from there. So I wanted to go ahead and redo this, so in my opinion, you guys weren't getting a biased review on them. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of give you just a general walk around of the garage. You'll see some of the building process. If you want to see the actual process of the build, there's a link right here. You can check that out. This is specifically the review on the building, overall finishes, what I like, what I don't like, and a little bit about the company. So real quick, I am gonna splice in some of the other comments that I made from the previous video, a little bit of work that took place here. So if you see a clip that maybe is sliced, or I'm in the middle of saying something and it cuts off, that's why I'm kind of splicing in the other footage. But if I miss something throughout this review video that you have a question on, please drop me a comment and let me know. And also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Okay, everybody, so here it is. Rachel and I opted for a 20-foot wide by 30-foot long metal building. We upgraded from 9-foot walls to 10-foot walls, and then that put us at about 12 foot at the peak. The price included all of the material, delivery, and installation, as well as a 9-foot wide by 8-foot tall roll-up door, and then it also included the 36-inch walk-in side door. Now we had pretty much every option, kind of, I wouldn't say customized, but basically we told them what we wanted, the colors, the trim, positioning, placement of each door, and they made it happen. So starting with the price for the building did not include the price for the concrete. If you guys missed that video and you want to see me, my dad, Stan, and Jim pour this concrete pad, that was kind of interesting. Had a little minor mishap during that. You can check out the link right here. But the price for just the building, I think, came in at a little over $9,000. Again, that included all material, delivery, and installation. Now, Rachel and I had priced this out every which way we could. We looked at packages for metal buildings, pool buildings, just regular stick framing, a garage, and even with all of the material, doing it ourselves. I think we came in the lowest price that we could get by building it ourselves was around like the $17,000 mark. So when we got the price back from them, we were pretty happy. Now, full disclosure, the frustration I had with the one guy, once the owner stepped in, he discounted us some money to compensate for my lost wages with everything that happened. It was purely personal. Don't really feel the need to get into that. So we actually got this for a little bit less than that price due to that. Now, some of the things I'm really happy about was during this whole building bidding sort of thing that we went through, the pricing, this was priced out at the material being 16 gauge metal. Now we upgraded to 12 gauge metal, got some thicker tubing for the framing, a little bit better quality siding and roofing material as well. And I was expecting, when I asked that question, to be told, yeah, it's going to be a few $1,000s. To upgrade to the more heavy duty material was only an extra like $320 or $330. So that was a no-brainer. We went ahead and pulled the trigger on that and upgraded that, and I'll show you guys inside now. So the one thing about this garage door that did surprise me a little bit, the lock is on the outside. So you can get in from the outside. Now it is just a lever right here. This slides over, that unlocks it, and the door rolls up, as you can see, like that. It's actually very smooth. The springs in the system up there, I'll show you that inside, make it very easy to pull up and pull down. There are 2 holes right there for some locks. I have some very heavy duty locks on order right now. You know, it's not a door that shoots up and rips your arm off, which is very nice. And you know, I don't have electricity in here, so there we go. So that the lock for the door is on the outside. Just know that for this kind of door, you're going to need to purchase a padlock. I would recommend spending the money and getting something pretty heavy duty. The walk-in man door obviously locks from the inside. I was pretty surprised with this. I believe that's 1.5 inches thick. It actually feels like it's pretty well insulated. There is a little window there. Hello. So we do get a little bit of natural light in. The hinges swing nice and smooth. No squeaks. And it locks, and you know, it's pretty solid. There's not a whole lot of play in there. So yeah, I mean, I'm very satisfied with the quality of both doors. Now on to the metal tubing and the metal framing. Like I said, we upgraded. So I'm very, very pleased and very impressed with the quality of the material. Now it did kind of come pre-assembled. Again, check out the other video of the build. But all of the trusses right here, the supports, were pre-welded, as well as the drop-in tubes over here. Everything was pre-welded. I checked them all out prior to installation. They all seem very solid. There's really no holes or anything in those welds. So when the guys put the trusses in these side rails here, they used 3 self-tapping screws on each side. There's 3 there and 3 there. So, I mean, it's bolted together really, really solid. They put these angled braces on them to help give a little extra support. And in each corner, there's 2 screws holding these on each side. So again, they're pretty solid there. Once they carried them in and stood them up, here's a little clip of that. They went ahead and used 2 self-tapping screws on each side at the base. So there's 4 self-tapping screws that are holding the frame to the base. Now, if you're wondering about the base, again, it's the same size tubing. I believe that was like 2 or 2.25 inch metal tubing. Every 3 feet, there is a 6-inch anchor bolt that was drilled into the concrete. I hammered them in, and then the guys went ahead and tightened them up appropriately. And of course, that was done after we ran around with, I went pretty crazy with the silicone caulking on the base just to make sure we didn't have any moisture or anything coming in. So I know I kind of did that backwards. So we did some caulking along the base, anchored that to the concrete. The guys dropped the framing in, and that's kind of the process there. And then they went ahead and did all of the sheeting and everything. Overall, I am very impressed with not just the quality of the material, but the work ethic from the installers. Victor and his crew did an awesome job. There's 2 minor little mishaps. I spoke to Bernard. He's going to get them taken care of for me, though. And they didn't take full payment. They took 50% payment, and then the other 50% will be due after these things are corrected, and I'll show you guys those right now. So on the front and the back, sides with the gable. You'll notice these channels are all nice and symmetrical going up. Every foot there's a channel up until right there. So I'm not sure if it was because I did the 10-foot walls or maybe it was just a minor mismeasurement. But those two channels didn't interlock. You know, the bottom piece does go up behind a good bit, but in my opinion, for aesthetics, I would like to see this upper channel made up with the lower one the way these ones do. That way our seam, if you guys can see that, looks right like that. You step back, it looks nice and universal. And also I would like it to be locked together. So on the front side here, and again on the back side, that's what happened. Again, it's nothing that structurally changes anything. It's more of an aesthetic to me. Bernard said he was going to get 2 new pieces ordered and get that taken care of. And then over here, I don't want to get hit with any snow. Again, it's pretty much purely for aesthetics, but again, I don't pay people to do things often, so when I do, I would like it done. You know, I don't want to say correct, but to the best of their abilities. There we go, that's what I was waiting for. This top piece here was put on upside down. So again, this metal is directional. The bottom should end right like this. There's a seam here, if you guys can see that. That's the way that should look, so that whenever you step back, it all looks universal and, you know, symmetrical. Whereas that top piece, the flange is on the wrong side, so it sticks down and kind of bubbles out a little bit. I actually spoke to Juan this morning, and he said he was going to put that on the list of repairs, so they're going to go ahead and get me a new 30-foot piece of metal ordered and get that fixed when they come back to fix those other 2 pieces. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much like the only issues. Everything else, I feel it was done, you know, really, really well. Victor and Andrew, I'm sorry, man, I forget the third guy's name. They did a great job. I mean, they were here on Friday in the middle of a snowstorm, banging this out. I was lucky enough, they let me help a little bit, but I think at one point in time, they kind of maybe got a little bit annoyed with me asking what I could help with. But this was all very exciting to me. I really, really wanted to be a part of this. I enjoy this kind of work. I enjoy building stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun for me. So I think I kind of annoyed those guys. Apologize to you, Victor, if I did. I feel like every couple minutes I was just asking, hey, what can I help with? What can I help with? So yeah, overall, I'm very happy. You know, I hope that Bernard was able to kind of talk to the employee that frustrated me and get that all squared away, because I think with new Team Carports, you do get a quality building for a very, very good price. If you guys are in the market for anything like this, I would recommend checking them out and giving them a chance. Just know that, you know, even in concrete, I'm kind of experiencing the same thing where our schedule is very, very chaotic. So if there is a little bit of a wait for them, you know, I think you're going to have that with quality contractors. You know, they did a good job. Anytime I had a question, I was able to call and get an answer. Even when Victor and his guys were here, anytime I had a question about something they were doing, you know, he stopped what he was doing, and, you know, he explained it to me. He was the only one out of those 3 that did speak English, which I will never hold that against anybody. I just appreciate the fact that those guys were out here working as hard as they did and as fast as they did. So if that was the biggest problem I had, was a little bit of a language barrier, I am 100% okay with that. Victor was here working as well as communicating and translating for me, which was a huge help. But overall, I'm very happy with the way they did, with the work they did. Even, I know you can't really see it right now because of all the snow, but even the cleanup they did, you know, I saw a bunch of screws and stuff kind of laying around here and I didn't want to keep harping on those guys about stuff. But it did seem like after they were done, they went ahead and went around and cleaned up a lot of stuff. I did see a couple little pieces of metal, floating around over here or somewhere, but it's snow covered now. No big deal. They're right here. Like, I can go around and pick up this stuff and throw it in the recycling bin. That's not a concern to me. I was mainly worried about like big cut off pieces of metal and screws laying all through here, but they went around, they cleaned up pretty much everything. Everything looks good outside, everything looks good inside. So if you're gonna go with this company, my recommendation would be to call in and talk to Juan or Bernard. Those two guys were great. They were pleasant to deal with. Bernard is the owner. Like I said, the one employee, I don't think it's fair to judge an entire company based off of one employee, but Bernard, I hope you were able to sit down and talk with the gentleman that wasn't so pleasant to me during this process, because I think overall you have a good company and you have installers that care about their work, and at the end of the day, that is what makes or breaks a company, is the quality of the product and the quality of the craftsmanship. So overall, I would give this company a score of, probably a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. A couple little things, the cosmetics things that, I had to bring up and bring to their attention. But like I said, Bernard stepped in, took care of that, and he's treating me right. So again, if you're in the market for a garage or a carport, I'm gonna step back inside because it's starting to snow. Definitely give new Team Carports a call. They're based out of North Carolina, but they ship all over the country and they do installs all over the country. I'm north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So the fact that those guys, actually they drove through the night from New York down to here on Friday to make sure I was taken care of. So again, those guys did a heck of a job. So I want to thank you guys for tuning back in to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you liked what you saw, please click the like and subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.